The Ford Mustang has been around for 61 years, and it is an icon of an American sports car. With the 2024 redesign, Ford brought a lot of new changes, especially with the new trim level known as the Dark Horse. This 2025 Ford Mustang Dark Horse serves as a replacement for the Mustang Mach-1 and is offering a lot of power, unique styling elements, as well as everything Mustang owners love. So is this the best manual sports car you can buy in 2025, or are you better off with the BMW M4? Let's go ahead and find out. As always, let's begin by discussing the pricing and the trim level right from the start. The Mustang comes in 6 different trims for 2025, and a few of those trims are available as a convertible. For today, we have the second most expensive Mustang you can buy, known as the Dark Horse. This one starts at $64,380 US, but this one is spec'd to $69,000 with the options we have today. Let's go ahead and see what you get for the money. The Mustang Dark Horse is a big attention grabber out on the road thanks to this large blacked out grille, functional ventilation at the bottom, these air curtains next to the headlights, and this large front splitter at the bottom. For the Dark Horse, you also get these graphics on the hood as well as this functional hood vent. The new Mustang's headlights are going to be fully LED. You get an LED daytime running light, projector cell LED headlamps, and there are actually 6 headlamps total inside, and you sometimes get sequential LED turn signals. The turn signal will only do its photo animation when you have the actual turn signal on, not when you have the hazard lights on or when you just unlock the car. Keep in mind that there are no fog lights at the bottom. At the sides, you will find these split-spoke 19-inch alloy wheels finished in matte gray. They will be wrapped in Pirelli P0 tires, and the black painted calipers of the Brembo brakes complement this design very nicely. Moving on to the side profile, you will find the side skirt at the bottom that jets out quite a ways, Dark Horse logos on the front fenders, and marker lights by the front and back wheels. Unfortunately, the mirrors only come with heating and blind spot monitoring. And moving around to the back, you'll find a relatively large rear wing as well as a diffuser at the bottom made of mostly plastic. You also get quad exhaust on this Dark Horse model. As far as the taillights are concerned, they're going to be fully LED and very premium as you would expect for a Mustang. You get an LED brake light, an LED reverse light at the bottom and the middle, as well as a sequential LED turn signal. The taillights also do a pretty cool animation for you when you unlock the car. And now let's go ahead and listen to this glorious 5-liter V8. And now let's go ahead and check out the interior of the $69,000 Ford Mustang Dark Horse. For $69,000, I am expecting quite a lot from the interior, but unfortunately the Mustang doesn't really deliver that. You will see what I mean by that throughout the interior section of this video. But for now, let's go ahead and check out the door panel. You get soft touch plastic on the upper part, leather on your armrest, a little grab handle, some faux carbon fiber, and you do have a door pocket at the bottom, although it is kinda small. As far as the seats are concerned, this one has the optional $2,000 leather insulated Recaro bucket seats. They will have 4 ways of manual adjusting as well as a lot of blue contrast stitching. Overall, these are pretty comfortable. I also want to point out that you get Mustang Dark Horse branding on your door sills. But now let's go ahead and talk about the rest of the Mustang's interior. Starting with the steering wheel, it is going to be very nicely leather wrapped but not heated. There's going to be some blue contrast stitching for the Dark Horse model, and this right here is going to be some kind of rubberized material that does feel a little bit odd if you rest your hand right here. There's going to be some real carbon fiber surrounding your cruise control settings, as well as your gauge cluster settings, and there's going to be more carbon fiber as you work your way down. On the airbag cover, there's going to be the traditional Mustang logo, not anything special like the Dark Horse logo, and it is going to be a plastic lined airbag cover. The gauge cluster doesn't offer very much customization, but it is very high resolution. To scroll through some of your information, you're just gonna click on the right side of the steering wheel, and you have things like your tire pressure, fuel economy, some other details like your oil temp, and you can also control some driver's assistance settings. Also, On the left side of the gauge, it's going to tell you what gear you are in. But now let's move on to the material quality. I was a little bit disappointed when I first got in this car because this is almost $70,000 and the materials do not live up to that price point. On the upper dash, you will find some hard touch plastic, real carbon fiber below that, and then underneath that is going to be some more hard touch plastic. In the center area around the vents, you will find faux carbon fiber, and it does not feel good at all. And there's going to be some more real carbon fiber underneath that. I really do not like how they had to put faux carbon fiber and real carbon fiber in the same place. Why can't they just decide on one? You get some leatherette padding for your knee to rest against, as well as some exclusive blue dark horse stitching. And around the shifter, you will find some more faux carbon fiber. Everything else here is going to be a hard touch plastic. Now, storage in the Mustang is actually pretty good. For a sports car, this is definitely usable. In the center console, you will find a decent amount of space, as well as a DC outlet and felt lining. There are 2 cup holders right in front of that. And there's also going to be a wireless phone charger, as well as a DC outlet and 2 USB ports. For the new redesigned Mustangs, the climate controls are going to be only in the infotainment system. You have a few modes right here, as well as your max defrost, and the max defrost is actually a physical button down here, and that is the only physical climate control button that you get. You can also quickly adjust the temperature right here, and the sliders are very intuitive, which is something I appreciate. There is dual zone climate control on the Mustang, but of course not tri-zone because nobody's really going to be sitting in the back seats. And I did misspeak earlier when I said that the Mustang does not have a heated steering wheel. It actually does have a heated steering wheel, and it can be found right here. But now let's move on to the main infotainment system. The Mustang has Ford's latest software, and the graphics on this display are just amazing. This car is wireless Apple CarPlay as well as Android Auto, and you have built-in navigation right here. You also have some more information that pops up over here, like your fuel economy, what is currently playing on the radio, or who's on the phone. Even though there are rare occasions where the screen can lag, I think Ford did a really good job on this infotainment system, and the big screen really helps the interior look very modern. That will bring up a very high-resolution backup camera with active trajectory. It is disappointing that there is no 360 view for almost $70,000, but you do get very good parking sensors, so let me go ahead and demonstrate that. So we are going to use my tripod as an example of an obstacle. And there is a little diagram on the right side of the screen that will help demonstrate the parking sensors. So right when it gets very close to it, it's going to start beeping, and there is a little graphic right there, which is pretty helpful. And that is as close as I want to get to the tripod, so we're just going to leave it at that. The parking sensors in the Mustang are pretty good. Up top, you'll find a standard rear view mirror, and there is dedicated sunglasses storage, which is very nice to see in a modern car. But now let's go ahead and see what the front passenger seat is like in the Ford Mustang. The door panel is relatively similar with a leather armrest, a door pocket at the bottom, as well as some faux carbon fiber. The window is also frameless, by the way. You get the same Recaro bucket seats with leather and suede, and they'll have blue contrast stitching, 4 ways of manual adjustment, and 2 little holes in case you have a harness on track. On the dash, you will find some hard-touch plastic as well as Ford Mustang Dark Horse branding and carbon fiber, and in the glove box, you will find a pretty good amount of space and plastic lining. But now let's go ahead and see what the rear seats are like in the Ford Mustang. Getting back here is relatively simple, but you will have to use 2 hands. You're just going to pull on this lever right here, that is going to tilt the seat forward, and you can actually get back here without sliding the seat forward, but if you want to, you can manually. In the back here, there is actually a pretty good amount of room. This seat is slid almost all the way back, and I still have about 2 inches of legroom. There aren't really any amenities back here besides this very slim armrest and this little hump in the middle to put your arm or something. Headroom is going to be a problem for taller passengers. But now let's go ahead and see what the cargo situation is like in the Ford Mustang. To pop the trunk, there's a little button right here by the license plates, and actually lifting up the trunk lid can be a little bit tough since it is so heavy. In the back here, you will find 13.5 cubic feet of space, which is actually quite good for a sports car. There's a large cutout to the left, and underneath the floor, you will find this little spare tire cutouts. If you need more space, you can surprisingly fold down the second row seats. Now let's go ahead and see what is powering this Ford Mustang Dark Horse. Under the hood is a 5-liter V8 making 500 horsepower and 418 pound-feet of torque. You can get a 10-speed automatic transmission, but you really should get a 6-speed Tremec manual transmission. Fuel economy comes in at 14 miles per gallon in the city, 22 on the highway, and 18 combined. This engine bay is really beautiful. You get carbon fiber on your engine cover as well as this little bar with Ford Mustang Dark Horse branding. Let me insert a little clip of an acceleration test in this car as well as the revving up of the engine. The Ford Mustang competes with a lot of different vehicles. The main competitors include the Toyota GR Supra 3.0, the Nissan Z Performance, the BMW M4 Competition which also offers a manual, and the Mercedes-AMG CLE 53. If you want a manual transmission sports car, the Mustang is a very good choice, but you can also get a manual on the Supra and the M4. For dimensions, the Mustang is 190 inches long and 82 inches wide. Well, that is going to wrap up today's video on this 2025 Ford Mustang Dark Horse. The Mustang is an amazing sports car with a powerful engine and great technology, and also it looks amazing. In my opinion, there should be higher quality materials on the inside for $70,000, and they should get rid of all of that fake carbon fiber. Let me know your thoughts on the Ford Mustang Dark Horse in the comment section down below, but for now, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.